Alright, so welcome back to Mormon Guitar. We're doing a poor Wayfaring Man of Grief right now. So if you haven't downloaded the tab already, go to mormonguitar.com and download the tab. Just search for, or it'll be like right there in the hymn section, A Poor Wayfaring Man of Grief. Okay, so with Poor Wayfaring Man of Grief, we're starting, and the first thing to note is that it's capoed at the 4th fret. Alright, just because, why not? Really, I just thought it sounded pretty, so that's about the extent of it. So the first part of the hymn, the first verse, what we're doing is we're kind of doing like an Irish type, almost like a Scottish, Ireland, that whole thing with think of like bagpipes, how bagpipes have, underlying chord notes that are the same the whole time, and they're just playing the melody different. So that I'm gonna say G just because it would be G if we weren't capoed, and I don't want to confuse you. I always like when it's capoed to let's just reset the guitar so that it's all in what it would be like with this being the nut. So that G note, that open G, that's that kind of droning open note. So the melody is always on top of that, and we're always hitting the two notes together for the most part, okay? Alright, and I'll slide up right there. So slide up. Alright, so what happens there is it's and then right after I hit it, the next one, I pull off there. It's a very Scottish, Irish thing to do. One more time. Let's do that a little better. Alright. So it's a hammer on, and then slide up. Now, one thing to do right there is that right after you go back to this, try to use your thumb and mute that D string. See how I did that? So that it doesn't continue to ring while we're doing the rest of it. Otherwise it'd be. And it just doesn't work. Alright, so we're back at measure 6. And these are just hammer-ons. Oops, usually do. Alright. Let's do that again. So this is measure 7. What? Okay, let me regroup here. Let's go to measure 6. So pick up to measure 6. Whoops. Alright. Now you'll notice I use my middle finger a lot, and really it's just because I actually chopped this finger off in seminary my sophomore year in high school, and so the tip of it is very, very tender because I don't really have a tip. So I actually kind of avoid using it as much as possible. So if you ever see me using my middle finger where you would normally use your index finger, then you can go ahead and do that. Don't feel like using your middle finger is better. It's just what I have to do. Okay, so now pick up to 10, so wait. Okay, now right there, I don't pick that again. It just kind of falls back. What? Oops. Same thing there, I don't pick it again. And now, kind of that roll. That's something good that you can really practice a lot. It really embellishes a lot of chords and everything, even if you're just doing chords, but especially in finger picking. It just kind of becomes just a very mechanical thing to do, or a muscle memory thing to do. But it's easy to throw in and kind of make it sound a lot fancier. So the rest stays the same except adding that G bass note. Now with this, I use my thumb because I gotta play that open G string right there. Well, not that one, that G string. Now with the ring finger. Alright, so now we're at B, which is measure 22. Okay, let's look at that one more time. So, this is really a D minor with an F bass. You have to use your thumb on this one. Okay, because you gotta... all fingers are being used there. All hands on deck here. So, because we need those to continue ringing. Alright? So... and now, everything is continuing ringing except on the B string, that middle finger. I'm going to put my index finger back here on the first string. So I get that nice dissonance there. And then I hammer on. Okay, so... try that one more time. And then moving on. Same thing. Okay, so now it's the same thing except instead of going, we go. Now this, if you wanted to bar it, you could. But we're so used to using our thumb already, that why would we? biggest thing I would say during that verse and the next one is that it's all about the chord shapes. Like, learn those chord shapes, because everything just goes in and out of those. And so as long as you focus on, okay, now I'm going to an A minor 7 and then a C with a C but with a E bass note, and then the D minor but with an F, and then to a G. You know, I mean, it's kind of all the those are just the chords, and then everything kind of moves in and out of those. Okay, so now let's go back to 38. So we just came out of that verse. Now here's 38. Now this is the same thing as it was going into the second verse, except we're adding some dissonance there. We're adding the 9, okay? Alright? Which is a B, but not really a B because we're capoed, but... Alright, and it stays there. That's the same note that's going to ring through all of these, so... And that's really just picking on that chord. And with your ring finger... And then we gotta use our thumb again here, because we need that ringing through. That'd be a really hard one to do without using the thumb. And then right here, now we're going to take that off and go to the ring finger. Alright, now what we're doing is we're going back to the new melody of A Poor Wayfaring Man of Grief. But again, look at the chord structures here. So it's really just a C to an A minor 7 to that same D minor but with an F bass to a G, G5, but I mean, who cares, it's all the same. Yeah, a bunch of music majors just rolled over in there. I just made them very uncomfortable. And then to an A minor 7, back to a C, but with an E bass. D minor 7, or D minor with that F bass. G. I mean, it's all the same chords throughout it. We're just bouncing through with the melody. Alright? That's the new one for the chorus. But anyways, so that's really, learn that first. And then learn the picking pattern, which is really just because we're now in well, I guess we always have been, but what is this? It's in 6/8, right? Yeah. So we're just doing triplets here, which is just, except for the first one. So sometimes it's, you start with your middle finger. Middle index thumb, or if you start with your ring finger, it's ring, middle, index, or you can do a combination of all of them, starting with your ring finger to your thumb. Alright, but that's kind of another one of those mechanics thing, or the muscle memory of finger picking or learning guitar, is to just learn that picking pattern and just practice it over and over, because that's all this is, just on those chords. Okay, so sometimes it'll be the same, sometimes it won't, but don't get caught up on the individual notes. Just get caught up, focus on the pattern. So each time I hit that top one, sometimes with my middle finger, but sometimes ring, depending on where it is, but that's the melody. So the top note is now the melody going through. right here. Just got to lay that first finger down flat. Alright. That's an 8. See, I didn't switch there. If I would have switched, I would have been fine. There we go, okay? So I kind of held that, but I don't really have to. I could just go. You know what I mean? As long as I switch those chords. That's awful. Let's try that one more time. That time I started down and kind of moved up, but it's still all the same triplets, but I could have, if I wanted to, you know? As long as it's a triplet, it's fine. How did I do that? Is that how I did that? I think I did. Yeah. Next page. So, let's do that measure again. Okay. Leave that low G, that thumb ringing throughout all that. Alright? If you have any questions, you can email me or you can comment on the video or the post. See you next time.